the problem was once I got that isolated space, you don't realize that if sound can't get out, it sounds terrible. I mean, it's worse than a bathroom.
Yes.
And so I didn't really want to do a lot of treatment back when you and I were first talking. I mean, I think we even split the contract up into like, here's a bill part and here's a treatment part.
I did, yeah.
And I think I was probably stringing you along with like, yeah, we'll get to the treatment, but I don't know that.
It's funny how often after we finish isolation, I probably should do a better job of warning my clients that when the isolation is finished, you're going to be left before treatment with an awful sounding room. Like
it was hard. Like when I was building it and the compressor was in there and I had music in there, I couldn't be in there.
Yeah.
And so you need something to absorb the sound. And so I had run through the budget at that point, so we needed to figure out, well, how can we build treatment? And you were great in saying, well, you could buy these things. Here's a list of things that you could buy, or here's a way to build it.
Yeah.
And really laying out, like, make it 4 inches deep.
Yeah.
And then for the diffuser, for the diffuser / absorption, you could use these materials.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing with that is that we always tell clients, like, a lot of what you're paying for from a manufacturer is time and labor and the convenience of it arriving on your doorstep, and then you just hang it on the walls, you know. And but some people that are handy, you can get the same acoustical performance or even better, because sometimes manufacturers are limited to the thickness and the size of panels that they can create, only because they have to ship them around the country. And like if you're building it on site, like that ceiling cloud you built, you're not going to buy that from anybody. And
couldn't get it in the door even if we did buy it.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. But I think it works beautifully in there. Like I said, a super comfortable space, sounds accurate, is a retreat. I think it checked all the boxes at least.
Yeah, it did. I mean, building the acoustical treatment probably took the longest. I think the build of the studio itself was about 6 months or so, 5 months, and then the acoustic treatment took the rest of the time.
But then again, you're doing that on your free time, quote unquote free time, which I know myself. I have 2 small kids as well. It'd take me 2 years, 3 years to get it all finished.
It was a lot of 8 o'clock to midnight. Every day.
Wow. That's awesome.
And the stretch fabric is super cool because you can paint with it pretty much. Like we could, and you did great at the renderings to say, like, well, you could do a gray ceiling, or you could do a light ceiling, or you could do a purple ceiling, and here's 10 colors. Yeah,
I remember Oscar was doing those renderings, and we like to show people options, because it's like you don't really know what you want until you see it.
Yeah.
And I think those renderings help kind of make decisions, because we were talking about doing a grid style for a while, and then white ceiling versus gray versus all sorts of colors.
And I think I was set on white, and then you mentioned, well, if you do white, you got to get an extra scrim, and you got to be really careful about putting it up because it shows fingerprints.
Right.
And we went with like an off-white cream for the ceiling and black, and I mean, I could have never put that together in my head. I'm pretty terrible with colors anyway. But yeah, it's amazing.
That's awesome.